Hello and welcome to a conversion of Narc on the Commodore 64, and you can see this was released by Ocean Software back in 1990 and was developed by the Sales Curve, the guys that did Swiv and Ninja Warriors and some other stuff. So yeah, this is a conversion of a Williams coin-op, and I suppose Williams at the time were having a bit of a resurgence. Games like Smash TV, Narc, and Total Carnage. Yeah, they're definitely having a bit of a resurgence then. Most of the games had kind of cheesy, over-the-top plots, pretty violent, and this is definitely no exception. So there's some quite nice presentation screens here, which I didn't expect to be in this version, but they are. Probably makes the cassette version rather tedious to play, I would imagine. So I am playing the disc version here. And the idea of the game is that you've got to make your way through each level, either eliminating the bad guys or arresting them. Obviously they're all carrying drugs, things like that. And it's a bit of a... it featured the Williams... at the time they used to feature the slogan, "Winners don't use drugs." So I guess this is taken to its extreme, and the idea is that you're basically just clearing the streets up. And you can play 1 or 2 player modes, and I'm surprised to find the 2 player modes here in the C64 version. I thought it would be dropped. But you can probably see right away the background graphics. They look a bit blocky, definitely lack a bit of detail. And if you get started, you can see the sprites themselves lack a lot of detail. They're pretty, I think they're all expanded sprites, and it's obvious the reason why they've done this is just to keep the sprite count high, and that's pretty impressive actually. There's quite a lot happening on screen. You've just got to squint your eyes a little bit. So the idea is you just get from one side of the level to the other, really. You can also hold down fire to release a sort of smart bomb, and yeah, sort of limbs go flying and stuff. It's quite impressive actually. It is a bit of a shame the graphics are so blocky, but as I say, it's understandable. The gameplay, it is fairly simple, but personally I like it. I mean, I've had a quick look at the coin-op version, but I never saw it back in the day. It probably wouldn't have impressed me too much back in the day. It just doesn't seem to offer enough to keep me hooked. But it's actually translated reasonably well to a fun game on the C64. I mean, it's pretty mindless, but it is damn good fun, to be honest. So you can also hover over enemies, and that, if you do that for a few seconds, they get arrested. You see, I'm busting them. Now the C64 version is, the controls are, because obviously it's down to using a 1-button joystick. For these dogs, you've got to press shift to sort of crouch. And it's quite easy on the emulator because I'm just using keys, but on a real 64 it'd be a bit of a pain, I would imagine. And it's a bit of a pain at the moment because it's the shift key on the opposite side of the keyboard, but I'll start another game. Yep, so you've pretty much seen all of the gameplay in the game. There's just not much more to offer. There's a bit of variety in terms of the opponents. Later levels feature a sort of clown that fires hypodermic needles at you. It's the sort of silliness that the game has to offer. And there's sections where you can get into a car and mow down bad guys. That's quite good fun. And they've even got little shadows on the bullets. It's certainly something they could have dropped. There's a bit of slowdown at times, maybe a bit of flicker, but it's understandable, there's just so much going on the screen. I do kind of like the music that plays in the background. Unfortunately, it's just the same tune for the whole game. It does get a bit repetitive after you've heard it for a couple of levels, but it does kind of spur you on a little bit. But yeah, I can't remember if there's an option to have sound effects on or not. There's somebody firing a hypodermic needle at me. I think some of these shop fronts you can enter. Oh, yeah, you sort of freeze and lose a bit of energy. I think if you take a hit from those needles. Oh, helicopter flying there. I think you can blow up with a well-placed shot from your sort of smart bomb. Oh, missed it. Yeah, so graphically, yeah, I mean, I think it's alright if you squint your eyes a little bit. You get used to it. I think the animation's pretty good. And I mean, it might be one of these games that's a bit more fun in two players. I don't know. I haven't played it in two-player mode, but I still think it's good for one player. I mean, it's really my cup of tea because it's just mindless shooting, and I do like a good shoot 'em up. I say the scenario is a little silly. And I mean, it's reasonably complete as a coin-op conversion from what I've seen. I think the final boss is missing at the end. If I remember, I think I read somewhere that was the case. But I don't think it's any great shakes because from what I remember, I've seen in the coin-op, I can get in this car here. Yep. The final boss is really hard. It's a typical Williams coin-op sort of boss. They're just ludicrously over the top. You know, you got to pump lots of money in to defeat them. So it's probably no great shakes that he's not there. Again, background graphics very simplistic, but I mean, they do the job. I mean, they don't look like I mean, this doesn't look like a C64 game from 1990, does it? But it is pretty blocky. But it often moves well enough, and it is good fun. So yeah, as a coin-op conversion, I think it's pretty reasonable. It's probably more fun to play than the coin-op. As a game in its own right, I mean, it's simplistic, but it's good fun. I do quite enjoy it, playing it here. I didn't own it back in the day. I had a demo with one of the magazines. It might have been Zap, I think. Yeah, I had the demo, but I could never get my hands on the game at the time. It's pretty hard going. You don't get a lot of continue. I think you just got the one continue. Yep, so if you're looking for a bit of mindless violence, definitely give it a go. I'll give it, well, I'll give it 7 out of 10. I don't think a lot of people would maybe give it quite as much, but it's my cup of tea really, and it's my review. So yeah, I'll give it 7 out of 10, and I'll see you in the next video.